All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, my chosen ones. Hello, my earth angels, my star seeds, my light workers, my peeps, my soul tribe. Hello, even to the cross watchers. Now, my name is Lightworker, and welcome to Awaken, Align, Ascend. The sorry, I'm just fixing out the topic I'm going to be talking about today is the power of meditation. Okay, awakening, aligning, and ascending. Okay, um, basically, as I said, I'm a light worker, and this channel is for anyone wanting to become the highest version of themselves, whether you're just starting a journey or you've been on it for years. You're welcome here. Um, and today's topic is meditation. By the end of this video, you'll understand what meditation is, why it works, what it does to your mind, how to meditate, the benefits you can expect if you stay consistent. Okay, let's begin. What is meditation? The main points. Meditation is training your awareness. Okay? It isn't about having no thoughts. Okay? It's about learning to observe thoughts instead of becoming them. Creating space between you and your mind. Becoming calmer. Becoming more present. Developing emotional control. Sorry, I just ate something. I'm a bit burpy. The mind is like a storm. Meditation teaches you how to become the sky instead of the storm, if that makes sense. Okay, so some of the benefits of meditation is mental benefits around mental health and the ability to be an observer rather than a participator in everything that comes into your mind. Yeah. It creates less stress, less anxiety, greater focus, better emotional regulation. And emotional regulation is key to ascension and key to manifestation. Yeah, because our universe doesn't read so much our thoughts. It does, but it reads our emotions. The universe feeds us what we feed it, and if we're feeding it low frequency emotions, you're going to get back from the universe low frequency reality. But yeah, as I was saying, meditation can help you create more patience, better decision making, physical benefits, better sleep, low stress hormones, lower stress hormones, lower blood pressure, better breathing, increased energy, um, personal growth, things surrounding personal growth, greater self awareness, more confidence, improved relationships, better self control, more gratitude, Yeah. Um, how meditation changed my life was it gave me the ability to take a step back from everything I was perceiving to go on in my reality because I was able to take a step back from being consumed by my thoughts and triggered my emotions. Yeah, and meditation helped me to um, create great sense of self insight. And it also helped me to um, hear the universe, hear God's source, And it really, it's still when when I'm in deep meditation now, I still get dumbfounded, In meditation now, when I'm in deep meditation, I'm in such a relaxed state that my mind starts, um, receiving downloads, visions and information and clear cognizant understandings surrounding the connection to the universe and the Akashic records and I also have the ability to astro travel in meditation. And I don't know if um, um, you're the only one that's spiritually gifted like that, but I'm sure there's other people, and I'm sure that everyone can have the capability to access the Akashic records or the universal consciousness through meditation and meditative practices. And so it's a really good tool. It's really important because no matter what you change in your life, no matter how much you try to fix your life, if you don't fix your mind, you won't be able to fix your reality. Yeah. If you don't fix your conscious and your subconscious mind using meditation as shadow work, well, there's other things that can assist. There's other things you can utilize, in terms of the shadow work stuff. I mean, really, shadow work is facing your shadow and in other words, facing your demons. There's another way to do that. It's called 9D breath work. Um, they're the two things that I've come across that really do work for dealing with your shadow. Yeah. But in terms of meditation, it's hard at first. Every inch of my being was telling me to move, to get up, to do something, and I had to fight that. And I learned that fighting made it worse, and I eventually just gave in. I did guided meditations for a while first, through an app called Insight Timer, which is a really good app. 90% of that app is free. Um, if you're struggling to pay for the app, and if you want to pay for the app, it's only like $80 or $90 a year, so it's not that big of a cost considering you'll be using it daily, and you'll be able to control your mind a lot better from utilizing what they have on offer on that app. Um, but yeah, look, meditation, um, meditation helped me to stop reacting and being triggered. Well, meditation mixed with shadow work helped me stop being triggered, but I stopped reacting emotionally to situations. I would respond instead of react. You know, I also realized when I started doing meditation, I started to notice negative habits, and I use meditation because meditation doesn't just teach you how to relax or teach you how to be aware. It teaches you how to change the framework of your thinking. Yeah, because that's important. It's very important because you have thoughts come into your head, whether they're intrusive, whether they're from you, whether they're from the universe, whether they're from some low frequency fuck obsessing over you and putting thoughts into your head through spell work. There's many ways that thoughts can come into mind, but any thought that comes into the mind, you're able to combat it with a different thought that changes your framework surrounding the thinking of that situation or whatever it is involved. And the importance of this is a lot of things that hold us back is because of our thinking. We think one way, right? If we come up with an ulterior thought that's positive and overrides that other thought, and we um, practice understanding that type of thinking, we strengthen the neural patterns in that area of our brain towards that thought process. So the end result is that we create a better way of thinking. Okay, and it's very important. So I think I mean, meditation changed my life. Along with shadow work, as I said, but meditation really helped me being able to control my mind instead of me being controlled by my mind. Yeah, and you become less controlled by fear. Yeah, you become calmer under pressure. You become more disciplined. You begin living intentionally. I move with intent nowadays. I don't waste my time fucking around. I move with intent, and moving with intention is important. Or else you're just drifting. You know, and life doesn't necessarily become easier, but you become stronger, and you're able to change the negative thought processes you have, and change the framework surrounding those thoughts towards whatever it may be with more optimistic and strengthening thought frameworks that assist you, rather than things that make you stay in self-doubt, stay in lack, stay in fear, stay in hatred, or stay in vengeance, anger. The low frequency shit. We want to avoid all that at all costs. And I'm not saying we have to live into a state where we're toxically positive. Authentic is the key. It's a balance, but don't live in the negative emotions. Yeah. Don't live in that shit. You're allowed to be angry. You're allowed to be pissed off. I don't resonate with hate at all. I don't resonate with vengeance at all. I don't resonate with that stuff. The areas I used to resonate a lot with was fear and love. Yeah, they are the two areas where I resonated a lot. And now I override fear because it's an illusion. Because I changed the framework inside my mind, and I reintegrated all my fragmented psyche surrounding my shadow through shadow work. Yeah, and meditation was key to all of this. Yeah. Okay, so what happens during meditation? Usually for me, when I started, like I said, I used guided meditation, but it was about sitting in a calm state or lying down in a calm state and focusing on my breathing. The inhale, the exhale. I didn't care whether it came out of my mouth or came out of my nose or came in my, I didn't care how I was doing it. I just cared about the fact that my focus was on the present, which is right now when I'm breathing. You know? And when I have a thought to come to mind, a brilliant tool that I picked up early in the stages of me learning how to meditate was I learned that if you have a thought come into your mind, make a mental note. And when you make that mental note, attach something to it, like a word, like thinking. Okay, so you say it once, you say it twice, and then you let it go. Yeah. And so the first time you say that word, like you're acknowledging it, and the second one you're letting it go. And you watch the thoughts will just breeze past a lot more easier. And like I said, meditation isn't being without thought. You will have thoughts come into your mind while you're meditating. It's about not um, interacting with that thought. It's about being observant of the thought, without trying to control it, without trying to judge it, without entertaining it, without interacting with it. It's just being an observer. Yeah. Like I said, thoughts come, don't fight them. Notice them, let them pass. Return your attention back to the breathing and repeat. No matter how many times it happens, just repeat that process. And focus on your breathing, thought comes in, you literally let it pass. And when you acknowledge that you're thinking and you realize it, you say thinking in your mind, and you take it back to the breathing. Okay, repeat that thousands of times if necessary. This is meditation. Yeah, repetition is the key to meditation, and it's just about bringing you back to the now, being present. Okay, now how to meditate. I started meditating 10 minutes at a time using an app, like I said. But yeah, basically, step one, you sit comfortably, or you can lie down. Step two, have a straight back. Step three, relax shoulders. Yeah. Step four, close your eyes. Step five, breathe slowly. Now, when you breathe slowly, as you start breathing slowly, breathe in, but as you breathe out for longer. Because what that does is sets your nervous system to calm. Yeah? It calms down your nervous system, so you're able to be more relaxed and more still and more present. Okay, if you breathe out for longer than you breathe in, it sends a signal to your nervous system. So I don't know if it is. Maybe it isn't your nervous system, but to one of your systems inside your body, it literally sends it signal saying calm the fuck down. Okay. Um. So you breathe slowly. Okay. You focus only on your breathing. If thoughts come, that's cool. Let them pass. Notice them, acknowledge them, let them pass. Go back to your breathing the minute you realize that you're thinking about something. Okay, your mind wanders. bring the attention back, like I said, without judging yourself, without, judging the thought, without judging yourself, without judging the situation, without any judgment, without any control, without any of that stuff. You just bring it back to the thing, the breathing. Yeah. So there's different types of meditation. Yeah. There's breath meditation. Yeah. Like I said, 9D breath work is quite phenomenal in terms of releasing demons and things like that from your psyche, and your subconscious, and that it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, I haven't really delved too much into 9D breath work, but I do know that it's very helpful. And if you want to you know look into 9D breath work, you should check out a dude called Gaz Wright. He's really good at what he does with that stuff. And Hope Cartel, yeah, I got much respect for them boys. Now there's breath meditation. There's mindfulness meditation, okay, loving and kindness meditation, and then there's walking meditation, and there's many others, body scan meditation, guided meditation, mantra meditation. These are recommended. I recommend that beginners start with a breath meditation. Okay, that's what I started with. It's very simple. You just, like I said, do that. Like I stated, yeah. And the other thing is, if you're like me and you were gang stalked for 10 years by a bunch of fucking low frequency fuckheads, the fear would be prominent in you because of how much you were traumatized through that. Yeah. And I found that when I started meditating, I still had a lot of fear. And what I did to combat the fear is I brought it back to my breathing. You know, I stopped entertaining the thoughts surrounding my fears by bringing it back to my breathing. And that's one of the biggest tools to help me overcome my fears. And nowadays, I don't even fear. I don't even fuck with fear. Fear can eat a dick. You know what I mean? Straight up. I don't waste my time on fear. Fear's an illusion. It's not fucking real. You know. It's a waste of energy being in fear. Okay. So some of the common problems beginners have, like they can't stop thinking. My mind keeps wandering. I don't have enough time. I'm doing it wrong. All these thoughts, they're perfectly normal. Yeah. I learned the slow route with meditation because for ages I was told to do meditation, and I just didn't do it. You know, until it was so painful in my life, I just had to do something. You know. And I was homeless and I was in a park, and I just started meditating. You know, and whenever I meditate, I get into a relaxed state. And if I meditate for long enough, and I get into a deep enough meditation, I feel this really intense feeling of comfort and safety and protection. You know, it's like God's source, the universe, holding me in its hands, in its palm, and just making sure that I'm okay. So I got a lot of respect for meditation. I didn't when I first heard it. I was like, what's this fucking weird fucking hippie shit, you know? But, when it come down to it, meditation is very, very helpful. Okay, so building a daily habit, same time every day, I would suggest. Morning works well for me. Start with 5 minutes and increase gradually, I started with 10 minutes, but I was crazy, I was fucking batshit crazy. So, I started with 10 minutes. So, and nowadays I do about 20 minutes a day if I can. And I tell you something that I personally love doing is I love meditating, have a guiding meditation while I'm relaxing in the bath with some Epsom salt and some, lavender or whatever herbs and scents you like to put in the bath, light a candle, make a whole ritual out of your meditation, because um, it's a beautiful act of self-care. Yeah. And the more you enhance your self-care, the healthier and the happier you will become. The more you do things that you may not enjoy that you know benefit you, the healthier and happier you become. And once you're healthy and happy, you can then reach out to others and be a service to others. And the end result is you live a life of joy and happiness, because you want ultimate happiness, and that is by serving others in need. But you need to put yourself in a position where you take care of yourself first in order to do that. Okay, that's the physical form of spiritual ascension. Spiritual ascension is also about awakening, aligning, and ascending. Yeah, living our highest purpose. Not what we want to do, what we need to do, what we were put here to do. Now, as I was saying about doing the daily meditation, don't miss 2 days in a row. Okay, I never miss 2 days in a row, because then it's when your whole structure becomes sloppy and you're struggling to sit quietly again. And like I've missed a day here and there, but I've never missed 2 days in a row, because I know what that does. It really fucks up the whole built up skill of meditating. It's a daily act. It's a daily practice. And remember, it's a progress, not perfection. Yeah. Now the results you may, the results you may notice is like, in your first week you might be calmer, better sleep, you sleep better. In week 2 to 4 you might get better focus, more emotional awareness. A month later, more discipline, more peace, greater resilience, better relationships, clearer thinking, greater sense of purpose. And on top of all that, you're able to control your thoughts, become an observer of your mind. Instead of having the mind control you, you're controlling your mind. So you take the wheel of your thinking process, and if you have a thought come into your head that puts you on a low frequency, you change the framework with another thought. And this is done through repetition practices surrounding meditation, because you find it's a lot easier to edit your mental processes once you get a handle on meditation. Yeah. Now everyone's progress is at their own pace. Yeah. I don't want people thinking they need to meditate, yeah, and 6 weeks later they got to be meditating for an hour a day. It's nothing like that. It's a personal journey. Okay, all of the stuff that I'm suggesting to do is based on a personal journey, on an individual trying to align after they've awakened. I can't wake someone up. I'm trying to do that with my music. That's my intention with my music. But this channel is about helping beings of light to align and ascend. Yeah, but it's up to the individual at the end of the day. I can give all the helpful knowledge that I've implemented in my life that I know to be very helpful, but it's up to the individual to utilize it and turn it into wisdom from knowledge. Meditation helps you slow down, okay? Understand yourself, reduce stress, improve focus, become emotionally stronger, live with greater intention. Okay, now that's the beautiful thing about meditation. Meditation. It's like this. There's two people. Yeah, one person has a cup. They both got a cup, and the cup's half empty. Yeah, one goes, "Oh, my cup's half empty." The other one goes, "My cup's half full." See, it's the same thing, but one person has an optimistic look at the cup. The other person has a pessimistic look at the cup. And what mindfulness meditation especially lets you do is it lets you take on things that you encounter or things that come into your mind and observe them. And if they don't sit right with the frequency you want to sit at, instead of the thought triggering your emotion, there's like a immediate intermediate a middleman, in between those two things, and it's you going, hang on, that doesn't serve the frequency I want to be at. So I'm going to change that with another thought. And you do this all in your mind, yeah? And mindfulness meditation allows you to gain the presence of self and the capacity to do that. And that's the key right there, because everyone that I know goes thinking, emotion, thinking, emotion. Okay, so some people don't even know what they're thinking, and they're just emotion. Some people just or some people don't. It's just and there's some soulless motherfuckers that I've met that they don't even have emotion. They're just all thinking. They're scary, them fuckers. But basically, you want to try and create some space between your thoughts and your emotions, so that you can control what emotions you emanate. I think that's the right word. Yeah, emanate um, from your vessel out into the universe. And the way you do that is, it's like, think of meditation as a filter. Meditation enables you to create a filter within your mind that stops you from thinking fuck shit. Stops you from thinking, and you will still have the thought, but it stops you from um, being emotionally affected by the fuck shit. Okay. And the way you do that is you change that, you combat that thought with another thought that's more positive and more, um, uplifting. Not always has to be uplifting and positive, but just a more beneficial thought. Whenever I'm thinking something, right, especially if it's something I'm thinking of doing, or something I'm thinking of creating or something like that, I always think from the framework of this. Does it serve my highest purpose? In other words, I think like this. Does it help the collective of humanity, and is it harm to none? Yeah, it's not, the best way to think is not about self orientated thought processes. It's about the collective of humanity. If you can think that way, and you can reframe your thoughts that you get with thoughts that have that um, foundation, everything you do will turn to gold, and everything you do will benefit everyone involved, and everything you do will be wholesome and beautiful. You still will make mistakes. We're human. We always make mistakes. But the thing I'm trying to get at the most here is, it's very important to realize that we are part of a universal consciousness. Everyone is interconnected with everyone. We are all one. We are all percentages of the universe experiencing itself in a physical human form. That's, yeah. So you got to think for everyone involved. Okay, so selfish, self-seeking thoughts, all that kind of stuff, the low frequency shit, that doesn't cut it. That won't get you nowhere. It'll get you somewhere. It might, but in the long run, it doesn't. It doesn't get you anywhere. Okay, and the more we think with that ambition and that foundation, the more we are able to manifest. The quicker we're able to manifest, the greater our manifestations become. Yeah. So, and I'm a brilliant manifestor. I pull shit out of nowhere. Yeah, it's very true. And so anyway, listen, that's basically meditation for you. Yeah, use it, please. I can't tell you what to do, but I can only suggest, please utilize meditation in your life on a daily basis, because it'll help you change your life. Because our life is created it starts from our thinking. And if we're able to control our thinking, we're able to control our reality. And the best way to control our thinking is to let our low frequency thoughts go. And that's done through meditation and shadow work, in my opinion. Now, 3-point challenge, all right, my peeps? All right. Challenge 1, meditate for 10 minutes every day this week. Every day. Challenge 2, write down one thing you notice after each meditation. Challenge 3, next time you feel stressed, pause, take 5 slow breaths in and out. Respond calmly instead of reacting, yeah? Now, I got a community, this is for my community, this is for my peeps, right? I'd love to hear from you. Comment below, what is the biggest thing stopping you from meditating consistently? Or if you've already started meditating, what is the biggest benefit you've noticed from meditating? Okay, because it's important. If you put it into practice, it's important to show the collective, what's working for you, because it's good to know. And I love reading the messages from my collective, my chosen peeps. You know, I love that, because you know we're all one. We're all one, and we got to work together to, you know, awaken, align, ascend, because that's you want humanity to evolve. You want to break the matrix system down. You want to live in reality, live in truth, live in authenticity, live in love, live in compassion. That is how it's done. Awaken, align, ascend. Now, thank you everyone for watching. If you found this of value, like the video, subscribe please. Share it with someone who needs it. If you'd like to support what I'm building, check out my music under Lightworker Music. I'll put the link down below. Visit the Lightworker Empire store for clothing and merchandise. You know, I got some cool stuff, some Chosen One jackets, collaboration jackets with Champion and Lightworker Empire. Yeah. It took a while to work that one out, but yeah, got collaboration jackets. Everything I create is aimed at helping people awaken, align, and ascend. Um, uh, Now the other thing I want to let you guys know is in the next episode, you know, just a little bit of a teaser. In the next episode, in the next video, we're going to dive into the most powerful practices for personal growth, known as shadow work. Okay, so I've covered meditation now. Like I said, I know for myself, awakening, aligning, and ascending was how I had the gang stalking stop, was how I lived in a high frequency, which gave me the ability to create a better life and ability to manifest the life of my dreams. And I'm in the process of doing that now, and I'm very happy with this situation I'm in now in terms of my life. And I know this to be true for me. And I just want to bestow what I know onto others so that they can benefit from this knowledge, because it's very powerful to be able to awaken, align, and ascend. Yeah, and it's a beautiful ambition, especially if everything you do it from the mindset of, does this benefit the collective of humanity, and is it harm to none? Anyway, you just have a lovely day, and peace out. Yeah, awaken, align, ascend.